All right, welcome back to PropellerHeads TV. I am here with Colin Guinn, founder of Guinn Partners, and an old friend of ours here at Skyfire. Today we're out here for the Doosan product launch, the dealer launch. So tell me about this product. It's amazing to see. Tell me about it.
Yeah. So we've been working on this for a couple of years. Doosan is obviously a 130-something-ish year old company, very large company, owns some tractor companies and things like that, and they have a lot of experience in energy and in hydrogen fuel cell technology. So we kind of partnered up a couple of years ago to take their hydrogen fuel cell technology and be able to apply it to drones and really develop a drone that could be, classified as kind of an industrial piece of equipment, right?
Yep.
Almost like a tractor in the sky, right. Something that can be used day in and day out. And really the goal of it was long endurance and being able to be operated with completely clean energy.
So you say long endurance, it's like seriously long endurance. Tell me about that.
Yeah, seriously long endurance. So 2-hour flight times. It's an under 55-pound drone, so it's regulated obviously the same as any other SUAS. Instead of having to charge batteries, you just pull the tank out, pop in a new tank, and you're back up in the air for another 2 hours. And the really exciting about that is, we could potentially double that flight time by just running at the same pressures that we're already seeing in Japan and other countries. So there's not some scientific breakthrough necessary to get to 4-hour flight times with this exact same setup.
So you literally just put more gas in the tank.
You literally just put more gas in the tank.
Yeah, that's really exciting. So something you said earlier that I thought was really interesting. Nobody cares about the drone, right? The drone is just a vehicle for the sensors. So tell me about what kind of sensors you can carry and why endurance is so important for that.
Yeah, so what Doosan obviously wants to bring to the market is long endurance and clean energy and really considering the workflow of these enterprise customers. And so we wanted to be able to integrate with whatever workflow they're used to and kind of give them that flexibility. So the one that we're flying today is built on the A3, right? So it's DJI payloads, it's DJI software, it's DJI ecosystem, DJI controller, everything that they're used to with DJI systems, but it's with a longer endurance, hydrogen fuel cell flying drone. By the same token, we'll have a Pixoc-based version, a PX4 stack, running Q ground control or mission planner, whatever those customers are used to. So we want to be able to not have to require customers to learn some completely new system, some new platform, have to buy all new payloads. We want to be able to integrate with what they're currently using.
Yeah, and I flew it 5 minutes ago, and I say this in the best possible way. It's an unremarkable experience because it flies exactly like every other drone I've ever flown. So it didn't take any learning curve at all. You just literally start it and take off.
Yeah, and one of the things that I was really impressed with this brand new airframe, that's really been designed specifically for this power pack. I couldn't believe how quiet it was. I mean, it's incredibly quiet. It flies really, really balanced. And I've been, we've only been flying it for a week ourselves since this newest airframe came out. And I've been I couldn't be happier with it.
So one of the things you said earlier, so it's got almost a 2-hour flight time, or about a 2-hour flight time. A lot of the drones we're using currently, our customers, largely public safety, they're flying, it says 38, 40 minutes. We're really getting 25, 30 minutes.
Sure.
And then you've got time to get out there, time to get back. So,
exactly.
How does that compare to what we're talking about here?
Well, and I think that's exactly the point, is a lot of people think, okay, if you have a 30-minute flight time drone and a 2-hour flight time drone, you can do 4 times the work, because it's 4 times the flight time. When you actually do the calculation, you're looking at minimum 6x the work, up to 10x the work, really just depending on how high and how far away your mission is from where your takeoff point is, and how much of a buffer you want to land with. Are you trying to land with 3% remaining in the pack? I don't think people are doing that because they're ruining their batteries, right? So they want to land with 10 to 15% remaining in their pack. And then if they're, depending on how far away the mission is, we're accomplishing, and we've tested this, how big of an area can we map with this drone, and then how long does that take us to map with a drone that flies for 25 minutes or 35 minutes, and you're looking at 6 to 8 flights to cover the same area, and it becomes kind of a several 4, 5, 6 hour ordeal if you're having to reposition, you're charging batteries, versus you send this thing up and you just hang out and watch it fly
as
for
we did.
It's an hour and a half.
50 minutes or something. It's sitting in the air while we're doing the presentation and everything.
Exactly.
No, that's crazy. So you talked about, obviously we know charging batteries, and that's a lot of work. How do you recharge the drone, refuel the tank? How does that work?
No, that's a great question. And that was really our first point with DMI when we started talking about this project together, is like, look, it's one thing to get the drone to fly on hydrogen, but we have to consider the workflow, right? And if I've got to drive an hour away to fill my tanks up, that's a non-starter, right? And so it really takes somebody with the size and pedigree and experience of a Doosan to be able to roll out a hydrogen refueling network that they're doing. And so really, the smallest part of this effort is building the drones. The largest part of the effort is the workflow and making sure that people don't have to futz with the hassle of going to fill their own hydrogen. So the tanks are actually Doosan assets, and we work with the customers to figure out how many tanks do they need for their type of operation, how often do they need them refilled, and they just always have full tanks. So that's a huge part of it.
And I think you guys said earlier about $5 or $10 to refuel it, or $5 to refuel the tank.
It's about $5 an hour. $5 an hour worth of hydrogen.
Okay.
So each tank is $10 to $12 to fill up, depending on your region, depending on how far away you are, things like that. But you know, one of the other things that we talked about that was kind of a new thing as we were talking to customers about, hey, what would you do? How much area could you scan if you had a 2-hour flight time? One of the things that popped up from a couple of customers was, well, actually, there's some things that we could do that we just couldn't do before. Right. There's these power lines that take us 15 or 20 minutes to get to. Right. And if we have a 30-minute drone, we can't do any work once we're there. Or there's these near-shore wind turbines or near-shore oil heads that we want to fly out to that may take 20 minutes to fly out there. Then we need to do a 30-minute scan or a 40-minute scan and then fly back. So this doesn't just kind of 6x to 10x, you know, normal drone work. It actually opens up a whole new world of other types of missions that can be flown.
Yeah, stuff you just couldn't do.
You just couldn't do.
10-pound payload, you said?
Up to a 10-pound payload.
Okay, so we can still drop things and do all the stuff our public safety customers love.
Yes.
XT2s, E30s.
Yeah, dual camera setup. Everything you can do on an M210, same deal.
Okay, awesome.
Yep. And it's got multiple GPS masts, so if you want to run RTK, you know, it's essentially, think of it as an M600 that flies for 2 hours.
Yeah, it's crazy. Can we take a look at it?
Absolutely, yeah. So everything about it has been designed for efficiency. 28-inch props. You've got tip vorticity reduction, which is a big part of what makes it so quiet. You know, essentially, this is the battery, right?
Yep.
You've got your hydrogen tank. You've got two 1.3 kilowatt fuel cell stacks. You've got a lithium polymer battery built in kind of as a capacitor, right? So if for whatever reason you had a hydrogen stack failure or something like that, or if you needed a lot more power than the hydrogen stacks could give you, we have a 12S lithium polymer setup that would allow you to come down and land safely.
Okay.
So there's some redundancy in the power system. And then the drone itself is just designed specifically for this weight and balance to get that heavy, you know, power pack down low into the rotor disc. So we have a nice tight MOI. And for portability, it actually folds up very compact. So as you see here, you know, the entire setup gets to be, you know, you pop this right off, and now you're looking at a cube that's actually like, essentially like transporting an M600.
Right, yeah, I was going to say the M600 case is not
Yeah,
small either.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I think, you know, one of the things that's going to be interesting to see in public safety, you know, our clients are like, well, I can't fit it in a fire truck. You know, this is probably not going to be your, hey, we come out to a house fire, we pop up for 30 seconds, take a
That's
look.
right.
This is your, we're out on a hazmat scene for 6 hours and we need longer.
That's right. Or, hey, we've got this event and we need eyes in the sky for 2 hours.
Right.
And we need to be able to just look around and see what's going on. And when we land, we want to land for 3 minutes and we want to be back up in the air for another 2 hours, right? So any time where you need to really have the ability to hover, get somewhere, hover inspection, get back, you know, maybe you've got a little Mavic 2 thermal in the fire truck, right? But then if it's a big fire, you've got somebody following 10 minutes behind where this thing can pop up and give you coverage for multiple hours.
That's the first line, this is the second line.
That's right.
No, that's awesome.
right.
So when will it become available?
We'll be shipping the first units next month.
Awesome. That's so exciting. Well,
Yeah.
I really appreciate your time and thanks for showing us around.
Thank you.
That'll do it for this video episode of PropellerHeads TV, and we'll see you next time.
All right.